Rebekah Koffler joins me now, who's done excellent coverage of what's happening in Ukraine with us for the past year. Rebekah, 4 annexed regions in Ukraine. Is this a new phase of the war?
Absolutely, Stu. We're entering the new phase that is called strategic operation to defeat critical infrastructure of the adversary. And this is a precursor step, potentially, to nuclear warfare. This is exactly why Putin...
Hold on a second.
Yes.
He's annexed 4 regions as of today. He's laid down martial law today. Okay.
Yes, I'll explain why.
His military is targeting infrastructure in Kyiv, destroying water and power supplies. You think that's a precursor to going further, to declaration of nuclear war? Really?
If he feels that he needs to. Remember, the reason why he annexed those 4 territories illegally from Ukraine is so that he clears the doctrinal path for the use of nuclear strikes. Because based on the Russian doctrine, it is allowed to defend the Russian territory with nuclear weapons. And today, Putin gave 3 days to his government to come up with the solution on how to defend the Russian territory. I already know what the solution is going to be. He wants to have nuclear warfare in his back pocket if he needs to, if he can't achieve what he is trying to achieve with the strategic operation to defeat critically important targets. So we are firmly on the escalation path with Russia. And unfortunately, President Biden's de-escalation strategy is hope and change. Biden hopes Putin is going to pack up his bags and go, but it's not going to change his behavior. We need to urgently take measures.
Okay, what measures? What measures would you recommend President Biden takes on this threat from the Russians?
There needs to be an adult in the room right now. Cooler heads need to prevail. We had an adult during the Cuban Missile Crisis, right? We had the JFK, who was a sober-minded individual. They sat down and figured it out. So President Biden needs to grab, Zelensky and Putin and get them to the table and start talking, because Putin is going to end, this war, because he has prepared for this for the past 20 years. He calibrated the strategy.
But if we respond to this threat of nuclear war from Putin, we end up pushing the Zelensky into a negotiated peace which leaves Russian troops in Ukraine, which is a win for Putin.
Well, it doesn't mean...
We're caving.
No, we absolutely...
We're caving to the threat of nuclear war.
Stu, we cannot cave in, because caving in would signal to Putin
But you do cave if you create peace with Russian troops still in Ukraine.
That's the prerequisite that you're going to need to articulate to Putin. These are our rules. This is where your position is. Unfortunately, Stu, we have come to this situation because we embolden Putin. We decrease our force posture in Europe. NATO countries still don't chip in fully into the kitty. Only 8 countries out of 30 provide 2%, with Germany, the largest economy, even not meeting the 2%. So we telegraph to Putin that we are not going to have the robust deterrence posture that we did during, President Reagan's time. That's when we developed the Star Wars capability, right? The SDI.
This is a cave. This is a cave. If you want to get Biden, Zelensky and Putin together to negotiate some kind of peace on the ground right now, you're caving. Because you will leave Russian troops in Ukraine.
Listen, Stu. So right now, the alternative is this. Today, the NATO forces are running the nuclear drill, Steadfast Noon, where we are flying nuclear-capable B-52s over the Russian, in 625 miles close to Russian territory. These exercises are overlapping with Russian exercises where the Russians are gearing up potentially to test a nuclear-powered cruise missile, Burevestnik. It's a flying Chernobyl, okay? So we are this close to nuclear war, not because either side wants a nuclear war. Neither Putin nor Biden don't want this, because wargaming has shown to us that it escalates very quickly, but it can come unintentionally due to miscalculation because of what happened in 1983. Not many people know that. Everybody thinks the Cuban Missile Crisis was this, that we were on the brink of nuclear war. No, that was 1983, the Operation Able Danger. And we're going to have a piece coming out on Fox Digital about that, where people need to be aware how Putin thinks. And unfortunately, we violated the first principle of warfare. Sun Tzu told us, know your adversary and you will win 1,000 battles. And our generals right now, they have no idea what Putin is doing and how he calibrated his strategy.
Okay. I'll take issue with that on another day. Rebekah Koffler, thanks for joining us.
Of course.
Okay.